How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another little video in our Lego figure tutorial. This time we are going to look at creating the arm and the hand of our little Lego man. So let's just jump back over to 3D Studio Max. This is where we left off last time. We've created the head, the body and the legs. And off camera, the only other thing I've done is I've taken a couple more templates that are included in your pack and created this little blueprint reference imagery for the hand icon, or the hand object. Done exactly the same way as we've done these other ones, just made a couple of new materials for them. You can see there, top and side view. So I'm not going to explain that, we're just going to dive right in. First of all, we will create the arm and then we'll create the hand. So here is how we're going to start. Now, if we look at the arm on the diagram here, you might think we're going to start with a cylinder, but that's not what we're going to do. We're actually going to start with a box and then add a smooth modifier to round it out. But it's just easier to work with a box to then get the kind of geometry we need. So let's see, we'll just create a little box there. Excuse me. And we're going to change this so it only has one length and one height segment. Sorry, one length and one width segment. But we're going to give it 3 height segments, like so. And let me see, left side there is not looking too bad. And on the front, I can just get this little fidgety thing here. There we go. We'll just move this over a little bit. And down a little bit as well. So that's roughly the right height. It's probably not thick enough, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all my other Lego objects here and just right click and hide those, just so we can see the arm itself. Also, if you notice, the arm is kind of at a slant. We're not going to slant it just yet. We're going to just model it straight up. And there's a bit of a turn in it here as well. We can model that in once we get our sizing right. So let me see what I want to do. Yep, that's okay. That's not too bad. I might just buff out the length a little bit. I'm going to hit Alt-X just so it's semi-see-through, and I'll give myself a little bit more room on the side view here. And okay, what do I want to do? I just want to convert it to an editable poly now. That's fine as it is. We'll probably need to change the size a little bit, but it's all good. Convert to editable poly, yes. It's roughly square on the cross section there, and we're roughly going to be 3 squares here. Yeah, that's fine. That's all good. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to, on the side view, I'm going to go into vertex mode. I'm going to start moving some of these pieces around just to match up the contours. So these 2 bottom pieces, they are going to go here, just at the bottom of the cuff. This little one here is going to go into the elbow. This one is going to go to the outer elbow, just kind of at the bottom of it. Then we'll put a wee soft kind of roundness in there. And then what we're going to do, we're going to move these down and create a kind of a square box shape. So you can see there, it's kind of like angled. We're just going to recreate that angle. So we're still going to try and maintain a square shape as best we can, but just at that angle of the arm. So the important thing is you'll notice this tapers in a wee bit here, just to get that elbow, and that looks okay to me. That's what we want to do. So you see the shape we have here, just that box, but just kind of bent over a little bit. Okay, so we'll come out of there, and what we want to do next is we are going to add a Turbosmooth to this. Scroll down and go Turbosmooth. And you'll see it gives it this kind of jelly bean shape. Ooh, let me just, well, where'd you go? There you are. Press Z to zoom in. So it gives this kind of jelly bean shape, which isn't quite what we're looking for. We want to maintain that cuff. We also want to maintain a shoulder joint here, a kind of a flat, smooth shoulder joint. So what we're going to do is, we're going to leave that Turbosmooth on. We're just going to click back down on editable poly here. And that will bring us back to our base mesh. And what we're going to do is we are going to go into our edge mode. Now we need to do some refinement to this Turbosmooth. With the Turbosmooth, it's just saying, yep, smooth everything, equal amount. And what we want to do is say, smooth some bits but leave others out. And there's a very good tool we can use to do this called Crease. And what I want you to do is select these 4 edges at the bottom that will make up kind of the wrist or the cuff of the arm, and scroll down until you get here where it says Edge Properties and then Crease. I'm just going to put that crease all the way up to 1. Now it's a value between 0 and 1. And if I just set that and then click off and now go back to my Turbosmooth, you'll see the difference that makes. Alt X here will see a bit better. You will see that it solidifies out those corners, gets a nice little cuff there. Absolutely lovely. Now we just need to do the same up here at the top. So what we'll do is we'll go back to Editable Poly. We're just going to repeat that process. And we're just going to select, I'll select that polygon, and then I'll control click on edge. That's just a quick way of selecting those 4 edges. Basically, it's just selecting all the edges that are connected to that polygon I originally selected. So we're just going to do the same thing. We'll put our crease up to 1. Now we don't have to do 1, we can do about 0.9, 0.7, point whatever. Maybe 0.9, yeah, we'll do that, and then go back to our Turbosmooth. And you'll see here the effect this has had. It's kind of solidified that it's still split them into 4, but it's maintained a much nicer border around the edge. And that's given us a very, very nice arm shape there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to the Turbosmooth and put iterations up to 2. So the way Turbosmooth works is basically that 1 polygon that we had in the bottom, with 1 iteration of Turbosmooth, chops it vertically, it chops it horizontally, turns it into 4 polygons. With 2 iterations, I will take each of these and chop them into 4. So there we go, now we've got 16, whereas the original was 1. But each time we smooth it, you'll see the edges, it's more circular and smoother and smoother. So we never really want to go too high in our iterations. We put this up as high as we want, but we're going to end up basically multiplying our number of polys before each time. So very, very soon we'll have a huge number of polys that will slow down max, especially if we're going into a game engine. So we only want to keep this quite low if we can. Now our smoothing groups are looking okay because they've maintained decent smoothing groups. You don't need to touch them. And I'm pretty happy with this arm as is. So let me see, I'll just deselect that. So I'm going to move on to the hand now. And as I said before, I've got this little thing down here that I pre-made. And how I'm going to start this one is just go to my basic objects and go to a tube this time. And I'm going to create a small tube. There we are. Sorry, I'll make this a bit bigger now. I don't need those elements for a wee second. So just making a tube. I haven't looked at the size yet. And what I'll do is I'll come into my left viewport here. No, I won't. I'll click this one and make it. I'll just hit T for top, actually, the best thing to do for them. And I will move this up here. A bit more room here. Actually, I'll just do this one. It's big already. So there we are. I'm going to do my old trick, Alt X. So sorry, I know that goes great. It's a wee bit hard to see on the screen there. But with the transparency on, we can now make this kind of play with the radiuses and make this the right size. So that maybe needs to be a bit smaller and just adjust it a little bit. On one. View. So we just pump up that radius just the tiniest wee bit. And bring this one down a bit. And that's not too bad. Probably a wee bit off, but close enough that no one will know the difference. Let me see. I'm now going to come into my front viewport here and just position this up so it's a wee bit too high there. Move you down. I'll just reduce the height down ever so slightly so it fits there. Good, and make you a wee bit bigger. Nah, you're okay, you'll do grand. I just hit F4, bring up my wireframe. So we've got 5 height segments here. I don't want 5. I'm going to lower that down to about 3. Yeah, that'll do for now. And I'll come back to my perspective viewport now. What do I want to do with this? Just hit P for perspective. Okay. Actually, no, I'll stay in T, stay in top mode. I'm going to right click, convert to editable poly, and what I want to do is delete some of these polys here that I don't need anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select, whoa, no, I've gone in the wrong. I converted the wrong thing to editable poly. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to select all of these polys and hit delete. Now there is a bottom row there as well, so we'll delete those. And what I want to do is I want to delete these polygons. You can't really see them. Let me see, go to perspective mode again. I want to delete these polygons, but I want to leave a couple. If you see these two kind of sets of polys here that now no longer have it, I want to leave those there. I'm going to connect those back up later, but I can also get rid of all of these ones in the inner ring here. So let's see, just do a wee quick drag select. Try not to select any of the ones I don't want. Just holding Control to make sure select multiple polys and hit delete. There we go. So okay, that's roughly the shape I want. What I want to do now is bridge up these gaps. So go select this edge and hit bridge. Same thing with these guys. Bridge them. Bridge them. And because I left two wee segments there, when I bridge these across, I've actually got a four-sided shape on top here. So I'm just select any two opposite edges and just bridge those, and that'll solidify that shape. We'll do the same thing on the bottom now. I'll just hit Alt X so you can see what's going on. So you see we've got that fold at the bottom. Select this edge and this edge, bridge them. And yep, I'm just going around those edges again. This one, bridge. This one, bridge. Probably a quicker way of doing that. I could have selected multiple edges at once, but just so you're clear on what we're actually doing here, I'll do one at a time. Select the opposite ones and bridge. So let me see. Now if I go to my top, yeah, that's fitting not too bad. I could probably pull these vertices in a wee bit. Alt X again. Hit one of my keypad with vertex mode. Maybe just bring this one up a wee bit, just make it horizontal. It's not going to be absolutely perfect, but it'll do rightly. Okay, so happy enough with that. The only thing we need to do now is fix this little curve that we should have in the hand coming down, you can see. So I'm going to do this in a couple of steps, but the first thing I'm going to do is just go to this side view here, and I'm going to just grab these couple of rows here and move them down. And maybe move this one in a little bit. And then I'll move these down as well. Just try and roughly create that shape. Now it's not going to be perfect, but that's okay. We're going to fix it. We're going to have some odd geometry here, but it's okay. We'll fix it. We'll get a wee look now. Oh, X there. So let me see. It's not the worst thing in the world already as it is, but what I'm going to do, I want to soften out this wee edge at the end here, and just maybe I'm going to bring this guy and this guy just down a little bit. Not much, just a little bit, just to smooth that out a bit more. I think that's maybe just a wee bit too much already there. Bring it up a little bit more. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add another row. Actually, I'll just show you. I'll not explain it. Just follow along, and hopefully you'll see why we're doing what we're doing here. I'm going to select this inner edge and this one and this one, and this one. And I'm going to connect them. Just to hit the main button itself, I'll just put one ring right in the middle, that's fine. And now that'll give us this kind of, give us an extra vertex in the top here. If we go into vertex mode, so now we've got a 5-sided shape, when really we always want to have 4-sided shapes. So I'm going to select this, and I'm going to connect them. So now I've got a 4-sided and a 3-sided. And I'll do the same on the bottom. Oops. Now, wait, what is that underneath me? There's slightly better angle. I'm going to select these two opposite each other and connect them. And again, this gives us this 3-sided shape, which we don't want. But what I'm now going to do, I'm going to go back to edge mode, press 2 on my keyboard, go into edge mode. I'm going to select this one, and this one. Those edges that were running up the way into those 3-sided shapes. So we've got a triangle at the top and a triangle at the bottom. I'm just going to add a little chamfer. Now that's a big massive chamfer, I don't want that. I just want a tiny wee chamfer. And what that'll do is I'll just soften that edge, turn this into a 4-sided shape. It will soften that edge, and it will also give us a wee extra ring here that we could adjust that angle. Do you know what? Those are really annoying me. Those, every time I rotate around seeing these white sheets, I'm just going to right click and hide unselected. There we go. So not too bad. I could maybe, I'll do the other side. I'm just going to repeat that process so you can see it and understand. Also, I don't like this little thing here. We'll get the same one on the other side. So I'm going to select you. I'll just drag you back up to get a nice wee edge loop there. Maybe this guy as well. This is just me purely being pedantic right now. This doesn't really matter what I'm doing, but just get a nice edge flow there. Looks a bit smoother. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. Go into my edge mode. Select you, and you. Hit connect. Back in vertex mode, pressing 1 on the keyboard. Select those two at the top, connect them. Select these two at the bottom. Connect them. I'm back in edge mode now. With 2 on the keyboard. Select these 3 edges. Hit that little chamfer settings button again. And it'll maintain the same one as before, so just hit OK. So now that's a nice little Lego hand there. I am happy enough with that. We could spend a little bit more time and maybe get these a little bit nicer, but it's minor detail, so we're not going to worry about it. It's not something you'll really see. I might just, do you know what, I'll just grab this one and the one opposite. I'm just going to move them up ever so slightly, just try and get that curve a wee bit nicer. And this one, and this one. Try and just get that curve a wee bit nicer. For all the difference it'll make, no one will ever see it anyway. Okay, top level. I'm happy enough with that. That's a nice little Lego hand there. Okay, last thing I want to do, if I unhide all, we have this little cylinder on the wrist of the hand, and we also have this longer one, but I'm not going to model this longer one because, as I say, we're not doing an actual product visualization. We'll just make a little game asset, and this is the only one that'll be visible, this wee smaller cylinder. So really easy to make. Literally all I'm going to do is cylinder, make a tiny little cylinder here, and just move it roughly into position. And height segments, I only need 1. Cap segments, I only need 1. I can actually delete the cap segments. Sides 18, that's grand. What I will do here, yeah, no, that's grand. I'm just going to convert this to an editable poly. Right click, convert to editable poly. And actually, I'm just going to delete that top face and delete that bottom face because they're not ever going to be visible. We don't need to see them. And what I will do is my max is slowing down on me. Oh, come on, stop doing that. I'm just going to rotate this around in the axis here until it's about right and move it into position. Now it looks a wee bit taller than it needs to be, so Alt X, just make it transparent, and then what we'll do is we will scale this, but I'm not going to scale it that way because it can, well, it's not too bad. It might scale a wee bit of a weird axis on us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to local, and then come down here into my perspective view just to make sure I get the whole thing. Scale that all the way down, and just eyeball it up with this one here. And notice when we go local, what this does is it rotates the gizmo to be aligned with the object itself, whereas with view mode, that gizmo is always vertical, horizontal in world space. So that's not too bad there. I'll just move the whole thing down and a wee bit more into the meat of the hand, and that's perfect. That's all I need. Come on, I'll just get this up here. So there we are. Alt X again just to see what we have here. We can see that's just about tipping into the or tipping through the other geometry. So what we'll do is we'll hit 1. I'll just take those two verts, any verts that are actually appearing through, I'll just smoosh them in just the tiniest wee bit. Perfect, that's all I need to do. Make sure it's connecting down the bottom there. So what we'll do is we will actually, oh, it's just a little bit off on top. Whoops, we'll go top level. And we'll just align it there. So with that aligned, it should match up lovely. Yeah, there we go. And everything is kind of buried within. It's connecting, there's no wee loose bits. Yeah, that's perfect, that's all I want to do. I'm going to right click top level, I'm going to select my main hand now. And then I'm going to just come down to attach, and just click that and make that part of the same object. So there we go, deactivate attach, and we have a little hand. So what I will do now is I'll actually rename this hand_L, and I will drag this over along with the other. And what I can do now is just try and rotate this into position nicely. Get my rotation tool. Yeah. I find that rotation snap can be very fiddly. You might need to go to another axis than the one that you actually want. No, it's still not working. Oh, for God's sake. So we'll do 180 degrees that way anyway. I don't know why, I just always prefer it when the little curve is at the bottom of the hand. I don't know why, it seems more natural. There we go now. Rotating 90 degrees. And we just want to rotate this around in the other axis now until that hand kind of matches up with the wrist cuff. I think we're still a little bit off. Just rotating another maybe 5 degrees. Maybe 10. 10 looks right. So yeah, just eyeball it until it's correct. It's nothing too scientific. Move it in there. Yeah, that looks okay. And just position it a wee bit. Maybe just move it down a tiny touch. Just until that little ring of the hand is inside and no more. I want to leave a wee bit padding here at the bottom. That looks okay. Maybe off a tiny bit. But that is where I'm going to leave this video for now. The next video I'm going to do, we're going to look at duplicating these pieces. We're going to look at duplicating the arm, rotating them into position. But It's actually a little bit more complicated than it looks. 3D Studio Max is a little bit glitchy when it comes to duplicating and mirroring objects. And what can happen is when you mirror them, they look fine in 3D Studio Max, but they can export incorrectly into other programs such as Substance Painter or Unreal. And we'll actually find this little leg that we made earlier will export incorrectly as well. So we're going to need to redo that leg, but I've placed it there so I can show you the kind of glitch that can happen. So I'm going to leave this video here now, and then in the next video all will be revealed. We'll finish off our Lego man and get in position nicely, prepping for unwrapping. So hope you enjoyed that. For now, if you have any questions, please leave them down below, and I will see you for the next video. So thank you very much, guys, and I will see you soon.